You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together. Is it? I'm trying to find a bright side to all this. I suppose it wasn't very convincing. You're not the first woman to tell me that. You're not the first to tell me that. Oh, nothing. Just trying to find a bright side to all this. Wait, we haven't met, have we? I don't suppose you happen to be another mage? Hardly. I just like to know my chances of being turned into a toad at any given moment. And here I thought I'd been yelled at by every mage in camp. Really? You don't look like a mage. That is... I mean... how interesting. Less being yelled at for me, then. So the day is still young. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit. No problem. It's just my background makes mages nervous, and nervous mages make me nervous. I don't want to be a toad. I like the way I am. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Allistair, the new Grey Warden. Though I guess you knew that. Good. You didn't exactly catch me at my finest with the mage there. Did Duncan mention me? Nothing bad, I hope. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining. Honestly, nothing. Try not to worry about it. It will just distract you. So I'm curious. Have you ever actually encountered Darkspawn before? When I fought my first one, I wasn't prepared for how monstrous it was. I can't say I'm looking forward to encountering another. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started. With the mage, the circle is here at the king's request, and the Chantry doesn't like that one bit. They just love letting mages know how unwelcome they are, which puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I was once a Templar. Not that that's all Templars do, but yes, the Chantry raised me until Duncan recruited me 6 months ago. I never would have agreed to deliver it, but Duncan says we're all to cooperate and get along. Apparently they didn't get the same speech. Don't worry, I'll try not to embarrass you. I've only fought them once up close, and that was before the battles here started, which Duncan has kept me out of so far. Tell me, did you find them as monstrous as I did? You'll be at an advantage then. Most new recruits have never even seen Darkspawn. I'd read so much, but it just can't prepare you. I don't look forward to seeing them again. You know, it just occurred to me that there have never been many women in the Grey Wardens. I wonder why that is. Yes, sir! Would that be so terrible? Not that I'm some drooling lecher or anything. Please stop looking at me like that. I'm getting that impression. True, but if you're here, what does that make you? Right! Moving along then. All right, fair enough. Ouch. There haven't been any dwarven Grey Wardens in some time. You must know a lot about Darkspawn. Someone like you, the recruit Duncan's been bragging endlessly about? Yes, completely untrustworthy. Oh, I guess you've got a more colourful background than Duncan let on. But don't worry, you'll see plenty of Darkspawn now. And probably sooner than you'd like. That's a sound policy to be sure, but the Grey Wardens have always believed it's important to know your enemy. To know them is to know how to destroy them. I never saw one before this began. I know. I felt the same way when I did this. Unfortunately, they don't give us much choice. Right, that was the name. Duncan sent word. He spoke quite highly of you. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit. From High-Ever. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit from the Circle of Magi. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit. The elf from Denerim. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit. The Dalish. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit. From Orzammar. You never know, these mages sneak up on you. Yes? Then let's get a move on, shall we? What about? The one tomorrow. I'll tell you. It's Tairn Loghain we should be looking to win it, not the king. You know, that's a good question. The other Grey Wardens are riding into battle with the king. I don't know if you'll be with them. If we don't break the horde here, Duncan says it will spread until it engulfs all of Ferelden. Then it will take an alliance of nations to fight it, which would be bad. Neither the king nor the Tairn really seems to believe this is a real blight, however. I'm sure Tairn Loghain has the battle planned to the last detail. Still, No blight has ever been defeated with so little cost. We're at the edge of the Korkari wilds, the eye of the blight storm, right where the horde will be coming. Ostagar itself is an excellent defensive position. The wilders were pushed back from here time and again in ancient days. Kaelin just wants his place in history. The Teiran is planning the strategy. That's my opinion, anyway. I guess I should be thankful the king favors us Grey Wardens. But I know who's keeping the lid on the pot. I wish I could tell you more. Maybe ask me again after Duncan speaks to you about it. There's not a lot I can tell you. We go and collect Darkspawn blood, and then you'll hear everything. Just relax. You're here now, right? No, I'm not, so just back off, all right? The joining is kept a secret for a reason. I really can't. I'm sorry. Look, I can't tell you much, all right? The joining is very unpleasant. I wish I could forget it, but I can't. I don't envy what you're going to have to go through. That's the spirit. I was scared out of my wits. But you get through it. You have to. The joining is the price we pay, all of us, for being able to defeat the Darkspawn. You can't refuse. I guess you could try. Duncan doesn't usually recruit cowards. You learn why it's a secret. I don't know anything about the harrowing. We don't do any spells, if that's what you're asking. If becoming a Grey Warden were easy, we wouldn't recruit the best. Duncan is the leader of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden, which he would say doesn't mean much, as there aren't many of us here. Yet, beyond that, he's a good man. A good judge of character. I owe him a lot. What about you? What do you think of him? That sounds familiar. Fair enough. Of course. Thousands, tens of thousands. They've had centuries to build up their numbers. The Grey Wardens keep watch. We feel the Darkspawn when they come. You'll understand after the joining. If you... well, you'll understand. Not to mention people start to notice when Darkspawn pour out of the wilds and taint everything around them. Just a guess. We chop off the snake's head. It's the only way. According to texts, the most famous Grey Warden leader, Garahel, killed the Archdemon Underal in personal combat at the Battle of Aesley to end the last blight. Without the Archdemon to command them, the Darkspawn flee back underground. You want the Chantry's version or the truth? The truth is we don't really know. They come up from the ground, and that's as far as we've gotten. According to the Chant of Light, the Maker imprisoned the old gods underground long ago, as punishment for tricking mankind into worshipping them. The Magisters used their gift to enter the Golden City, tainting it and themselves. They were cast out by the Maker, and became the first Darkspawn. They fled underground, bringing their taint to their gods. The tainted old gods were the archdemons who rose from their prisons and led the Darkspawn against the world. Yes, and it nearly wiped us out. When defeated, the Darkspawn flee back underground and seek out another old god to taint, thus bringing another blight. The Grey Wardens killed so many Darkspawn by the end of the last blight, people decided they were gone for good. The old gods were dragons, so the stories say. Big ones. Intelligent, even. They've controlled the deep roads ever since they defeated the Dwarven kingdoms. Even if we invaded, we can only chase them so far. You're a dwarf. You tell me. Your people have been trying that for just about ever, haven't they? We haven't seen it yet. People are beginning to think this is just an unusually large Darkspawn raid without an Archdemon to unify them. But seriously, the Archdemon could be in the wilds or underground. It could be hiding. Just because it hasn't shown itself doesn't mean it isn't out there. They seldom are. So I imagine... what would you like to know? You want to ask me about something else? King Marek, Kaelin's father, reaffirmed the power the Grey Wardens were given during the Blights. In practice, we can't conscript too often without hurting our cause. We were exiled from Ferelden once. Best not to let that happen again. The others are camped with the King's soldiers in the valley. The King's given us a position of honor at the vanguard, despite our small numbers. I think Kaelin is actually excited to ride into battle with us. Maybe he thinks that's what his father would have done. Well, let's see. Surely you've heard of Weishaupt Fortress? The great eyrie carved into the White Cliffs far off in the Anderfels? That's where the Grey Wardens once kept their griffins. The griffins died out, however, and our numbers have dwindled since the last blight. There's only a handful left in Ferelden. few more in other nations. The Grey Wardens are warriors without equal. Darkspawn threatened to destroy the world 4 times over. Each time, the Grey Wardens led mankind to victory. Nobody knows more about Darkspawn, and nobody's better equipped to deal with them. You'll see. Trust me. I don't know if I'd go that far. Duncan says the Grey Wardens do whatever is necessary to protect mankind from Darkspawn. That means some pretty extreme things. Whatever it takes to bring victory. You first. Did you want to become a Grey Warden? I was conscripted. Not that I didn't want to join. I was training as a Templar for the Chantry before Duncan recruited me. That was about 6 months ago. But joining the Chantry wasn't my idea. My fate was decided for me long before that. Duncan saw I wasn't happy, and figured my training against mages could double for fighting Darkspawn. And now, here I stand, a proud Grey Warden. The Grand Cleric wouldn't have let me go if Duncan never forced the issue. I'll always be grateful to him. I spent years in that Chantry, hopelessly resigned to my fate. Duncan was the first person who cared what I wanted. He risked a lot of trouble with the Grand Cleric to help me. Or maybe he just happens to be a good man. It just wasn't for me. I believe in the Maker well enough, but I never wanted to devote my life to the Chantry. I know you're a mage, but it wasn't my idea. I was raised in the Chantry. They decided my fate a long time ago. Conscripted, huh? Duncan rarely needs to do that, I hear. You asked in general. I'm asking in particular. As I said, I was trained as a Templar before Duncan recruited me about 6 months ago. The Chantry raised me. And becoming a Templar was a decision made for me a long time ago. Don't worry. I'll try not to embarrass you. If the king wants to see you and Duncan, you probably shouldn't keep him waiting. He might get mad, start crying. You'll feel bad and, well, it won't be pretty. We need to get to the beacon. The king needs Loghain to charge. You know, according to all the sisters at the monastery, I should have been struck by lightning by now. Yep, lightning first, then the end of civilization as we know it. I'm a bad, bad man. Sure. But if you get hit by the lightning afterwards, it hardly seems like an effective deterrent. Meaning it was so great that the Maker himself has decided to spare me the usual punishment, right? Right? Oh. You do realize the rest of our little party here is going to talk, right? They do that. Oh, sure, now you say that. By tomorrow it'll be icy glares and awkward silences right before battle. Just you watch. I won't have to. Morrigan will give me that look. I just know it. You should really kick her ass for me. I'd pay to watch that fight. See? This is why I love you. So, what now? Where do we go from here? You're so practical. You make me proud. All right, I get the hint. We have a lot to do, right? And we should do it. Before we go, have I told you that I love you? I did. Well, it won't kill you to hear it again, will it? See? Was that so hard? Yes, ma'am. You are so bossy. Mood spoiler. Maybe. But not today. It seems like we should. I don't know. This isn't an everyday thing for me, you know. Maybe you can take it lightly. Right, I can handle that. I hope. Just so long as we're on the same wavelength. Good to know. Well, that was not what I expected, to put it lightly. I lived up to my promise, I suppose, but this is the family I've been wondering about all my life? I can't believe it. I'm sorry I gave her any money at all. This is the family I've been wondering about all my life? That gold-digging harridan? I can't believe it. This is the family I've been wondering about all my life? That shrew is my sister? I can't believe it. I guess I was expecting her to accept me without question. Isn't that what family is supposed to do? I feel like a complete idiot. Yes, I suppose you're right. I should. Such as? The only person who ever cared about me was Duncan. And he's gone. I care about you too. I really do. Thank you. I'm glad you came with me. Maybe. I don't know. I wanted something else, I suppose. And I'll never get it. Yes, I'm sorry too. I guess I should have known better. Let's just go. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Yes, I suppose so. Lead on. I want to get as far away from here as possible. Very naive, apparently. I thought that you cared about me, for instance, but I was probably wrong about that too. Very naive, apparently. I thought that you were a friend too, after all. Very naive, apparently. Let's leave. I don't want to talk about this with you anymore. Hello?
Hey, you have linens to wash? I charge 3 bits on a bundle, you won't find better. And don't trust what that Natalia woman tells you either. She's foreign and she'll rob you blind.
I'm not here to have any wash done. My name's Allistair. Well, this may sound sort of strange, but are you Goldana? If so, I suppose I'm your brother.
My what? I am Goldana, yes. How do you know my name? What kind of tomfoolery are you folk up to?
Yes, I think so. I'm sure of it, in fact. Look, our mother, she worked as a servant in Redcliffe Castle a long time ago before she died. Do you know about that?
You! I heard about the new king and I wondered. They told me the babe was dead back when Mother died, but I knew they was lying. It's you! You! I knew it! They told me you was dead. They told me the babe was dead along with Mother, but I knew they was lying.
They told you I was dead? Who? Who told you that?
Them's at the castle. I told them the babe was the king's and they said he was dead. Gave me a coin to shut my mouth and sent me on my way. I knew it.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that. The babe didn't die. I'm him. I'm your brother.
Ugh, for all the good it does me. You killed Mother, you did, and I've had to scrape by all this time. That coin didn't last long, and when I went back, they ran me off. And who in the maker's name are you? Some elf to follow him about and carry his riches for him?
Hey, don't speak to her that way. She's my friend and a Grey Warden, just like me. Hey, don't speak to him that way. He's my friend. And a Grey Warden, just like me.
Ooh, I see. A king and a Grey Warden, too. Well, who am I to think poorly of someone so high and mighty? Perhaps you'll throw me in the dungeon. Oh, I see. A prince and a Grey Warden, too. Well, who am I to think poorly of someone so high and mighty compared to me? I don't know you, boy. Your royal father forced himself on my mother and took her away from me. And what do I got to show for it? Nothing. They tricked me good. I should have told everyone. I got 5 mouths to feed. And unless you can help with that, I got less than no use for you.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Well? So he's found it. I'm his sister. But what are you to me, boy, except the one who took my mother away,
You think I wished her dead? I never wanted that. I didn't have the life you think I did, Goldana.
Maybe not. But you're to be king, aren't you? That's something. More than your nieces and nephews will ever see, that's for sure. I suppose not. A bastard is still a bastard, isn't he? But, brother or no, I've got 5 mouths to feed and no time to spare until they are. Well, he found it. And what good is that to me? None, that's what. Unless he can see to it that his family lives as it should. That's so. Well, he isn't any brother I didn't have before he walked through that door. Unless he can make himself useful, he can just walk back on out of it, can't he?
You're right. I don't know why I came.
I don't know why you came either, or what you expected to find. But it isn't here. Now get out of my house, the both of you.
No, just leave her alone. It's her house after all. Let's just go. It's her house. Let's just get out of it and leave her alone. I agree. Let's get out of here. I suppose maybe I could give her some money for my nieces and nephews. 15 sovereigns, maybe? Would you let me give her that? Then here, Goldana, take this money. I know it's not much, but...
You, the bloody king-to-be, standing right here in my larder, and you're telling me that's all you've got to offer? You must think I'm stupid. You, a prince, marching in here with your fancy armour and such, and this is all you got to offer? You must think I'm very stupid.
No, wait, I don't think that at all. I want to help, if I can.
You want to help? You go to whatever high and mighty folks you run with, and you tell them you've got nephews and nieces that aren't living as they've a right to. You do that!
Yes, great. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, apparently so. Then let me promise you this, Goldana. I'll do whatever I can, speak to whomever I have to ensure you and your children are taken care of.
That sounds all well and fine. But you'll have to forgive me if I don't exactly hold my breath.
You have my promise. I can't give you more than that. Let's go. I want to go. Goodbye, sister. Then I don't know what else we can do. I'm sorry, Goldana, but I would love to help you out, but I don't think we really have enough money to spare. I wish we did. Yes, it really seems that way, doesn't it? I wasn't expecting my sister to be so... I'm starting to wonder why I came.
And who in the Maker's name are you? Some dwarf carrying all his riches, I expect? And who in the Maker's name are you? Some tart following after his riches, I expect? And who in the Maker's name are you? Some servant of his to carry all his riches, I expect?
No, don't go. Please, stay for now. That's my sister's house. I'm almost sure of it. This is the right address. She could be inside. Could we go and see? Do I seem a little nervous? I am. I really don't know what to expect. I'd like you to be there with me if you're willing. Or we could leave, I suppose. We really don't have time to pay a visit, do we? Maybe we should go. I am not. All right, maybe I am. I am totally a coward. What would I say to her? Does she even know I exist? Will she be happy to see me? Will she even know who I am? Does she even know I exist? My sister. That sounds very strange. Sister. Oh, now I'm babbling. Maybe we should go. Let's go. Let's just go. No, I suppose not. We have plenty to do, and she might not even be home, right? And what would I have to say to her anyway? You're probably right. Let's simply go. I can always come back another time. This is my mother's amulet. It has to be. But why isn't it broken? Where did you find it? Why are you giving it to me then? Oh, the Arl study? Then he must have found the amulet after I threw it at the wall, and he repaired it and kept it. I don't understand. Why would he do that? Maybe he did. He might even have brought it with him one of those times he came to see me at the monastery. Not that I would have given him a chance, as belligerent as I was to him. I guess you could be right. We never really talked that much. And then the way I left... Thank you. I mean it. I thought I'd lost this to my own stupidity. I'll need to talk to him about this. The next time I see him, that is. I wish I'd had this a long time ago. I'll need to talk to him about this if he recovers from his... When he recovers, that is. I wish I'd had this a long time ago. Did you remember me mentioning it? Wow. Huh. I'm more used to people not really listening when I go on about things. I don't know what to say. You're special to me too. Thank you again. Is this the part when the music starts and we begin dancing? Because I'm game. Where's the minstrels? I don't know what to say. I'm honoured. Thanks again. Ho, ho, ho. See this gesture I'm making? Can you hear that? Right. Let's go then. And thanks again. Ah, cheap trinkets handed to me nonchalantly by a beautiful woman. How my heart soars. Next thing you'll be throwing gift boots at my head, right? Thanks for the amulet. Even if it's not my mother's, it comes from you, and I'll keep it nonetheless. Thanks for the gesture, but if this isn't my mother's, it's just not the same. Thanks for the gesture, I suppose. It sort of looked like I remember my mother's amulet to be. But I guess it's not the same. Oh, fine. Hand your junk off to me, will you? Next I'll be getting your smelly old boots in your laundry. Thanks, but no thanks. I suppose there might have been other amulets like these made. But I've never seen any others. It looks very old. So, what? Did you buy it? It looks just like the one I used to have when I was at Redcliffe. Oh, well, it's a good replica, but it's not the same. Thanks for the thought, anyhow. This shield... It's Duncan's, isn't it? That's his crest. I did. I really did. I just never expected. Thank you. Truly, I had no idea his shield wasn't with him. This is perfect. I don't know how else to express my gratitude. This means a great deal to me. I can't believe you remembered it at all. I don't know what to say. I'll treasure this. Thank you. Of course. Thank you again. Loghain better be ready to charge as soon as we light the signal. The king is depending on us. Maker's breath. What are these Darkspawn doing ahead of the rest of the horde? There wasn't supposed to be any resistance here. Now that's a scary thought. They couldn't know about the plan. How? They're not that smart, are they? At any rate, we need to hurry. We need to get up to the top of the tower and light the signal fire in time. Taron Logain will be waiting for the signal. Hey, you're right. I guess there is a silver lining here if you think about it. Good point. I need to stay focused. Kill first, ask questions later. Here we are, the Tower of Ishal. Let's get up to the top quickly, so we can be ready for the signal. So, I understand that this is it. You've chosen someone else. Because you can't have it both ways, or do you really think that would be all right? Look, I'm fine with it. Really. If it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be. Zev's a lucky bastard. That's all I really have to say about it. I hope he makes you happy. Let's get back to it, then. We have plenty of other things to keep us busy. Not really. But I don't have a lot of choice here, do I? You're right. We have plenty of other things to keep us busy. Yeah. Me too. Word travels quickly. You know how it is. First, I get picked last for the Templar sparring teams. And now this. You know, maybe this isn't the best time to be thinking about this, but I've something to ask you. Seeing as we're in Denerim now, I'm wondering if we might be able to look someone up. You're probably right. I understand that. Still, we're in Denerim now, and if we get the chance... The thing is, I have a sister, a half-sister. I told you about my mother, right? She was a servant at Redcliffe Castle, and she had a daughter. Only, I never knew about her. I don't think she knew about me, either. They kept my birth a secret, after all. But after I became a Grey Warden, I did some checking, and, well, I found out she's still alive. In Denerim. She's the only real family I have left, the only family not also mixed up in the whole royal thing. I've just been thinking that maybe it's time I went to see her. With the Blight coming and everything, I don't know if I'll ever get another chance to see her. Maybe I can help her. Warn her about the danger, I don't know. You're right, I know. If I wait, though, and something happens to her, I don't know if I could forgive myself. Her name is Goldana, and I think she remarried but still lives just outside the alienage. If we're in the area, then, well, it's worth a look. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about her except her name and where she lives. Could we? I'd appreciate that. If something happened to her and I never went to at least see her, I don't know if I could forgive myself. No. I thought about writing her, but I never did. And then we were called down to Ostagar, and I never got the chance. Chances are we'll be heading to Denerim soon. And when we're there, I wonder if we might be able to look someone up. A former what? No! Do you honestly think I would suggest we go see it together? No! You're probably right, I understand that. Still, if we're in Denerim and we happen to get the chance... No, I know that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a friend, exactly. And no, it's not that sort of friend either. I'm wondering something. I'd like to know your thoughts about some of our travelling companions. Do you mind if I ask? How about Ogren? You must have an opinion on the smell, at the very least. As long as he stays downwind, sure. Once he's had a bit to drink, however... Forget that. There is no bit to drink with him. No, that would just make it worse. Morrigan told him exactly what she thought of him, and he actually drove her off with a string of expletives I didn't even know existed. You should have seen it. She actually blushed. I was impressed. And then he vomited. Not so impressive. Where? You didn't think that big pack he brings with him is full of equipment, did you? The man is a walking brewery. Not that it's all bad. Dwarven ale has its charms, I suppose. I just don't think you need to drink to the point of blindness every time. Oh, I have no problem with drinking. It's the vomiting and yelling and cursing that gets a bit tiresome. I would too if he could stick to the ribald stories and not so much with the belching and projectile vomiting. How he lifts his sword is a bit of a mystery. Well, let's just say that I'm not so surprised he's not married any longer. How he lifts his sword is a bit of a mystery. Yeah, that's what I thought you'd say. For a drunk, he's an excellent warrior, right? How he lifts his sword is a bit of a mystery, though I suppose the point is that he does lift it. And so long as we can point him in the right direction, he charges too. He has gusto, I'll give him that. Zevran, the elf. You can't trust him, can you? Do you believe his so-called vow? That's a lot to put on a maybe, isn't it? He's an assassin. The crows aren't known for giving up. Maybe he's just biding his time. That's very trusting of you. I guess you must have your reasons. Well, at least you're considering the possibility. He just seems shifty to me. Well, if you are, then maybe I should too. But that doesn't mean I won't keep an eye on him. He's just too shifty. Yes, well, he is at that. So useful, you could just die, right? Really? Why? That's a lot of trust to put in someone who tried to kill you. Yes, I see that. Yes, the rest of us have noticed that. Then why bring him along? Don't you think he might try to kill you again? Maybe he's just biding his time. No, not at all. It's a serious question. Do you actually believe him? Maybe a little. That doesn't stop the question from being relevant. Just answer the question. Oh, you're killing me here. Well, no. Not really. Of course not. It's still a serious question. Do you believe him or not? What about Sten? The way he looks at me with those eyes. Creepy. And he's so quiet for someone so big. The more I talk to him, the more reasonable he does seem. His philosophy is so strange. But it doesn't sound at all as vile as the Chantry describes it. I know. The more I talk to him, the more it seems like his philosophy is not so vile as the Chantry describes it. It's an odd thing to think, yet he doesn't seem quite so bad as the Chantry tells us. According to them, his philosophy is vile and evil. Yet he seems so reasonable, and yet he killed all those people. He doesn't even deny it. Doesn't that bother you? I don't know if I like the sound of that. But I guess I take your meaning. Yet he seems otherwise honourable and even wise. I don't get it. I'm not so sure that his regret means the same as it would for us. The Kunari sense of honour is a bit hard to grasp. For me, anyway. What about Liliana? Is she crazy? Or do you really believe in her vision? Even the Chantry believes that most claims of visions and such are usually people's minds playing tricks on them. Wishful thinking at best. I'm not sure what I think. That's one way to put it. I noticed that you and her have become close. Am I right? The rest of us have talked about it. You think we have better things to do than gossip about you? You give us far too much credit. Is it true or not? I thought so. Well, I hope you know what you're doing. Oh, liar. Suit yourself. Oh, so it's true. Ha ha, you don't fool me. I knew it. I don't know what to make of her. If you look at her when she doesn't see you, she just looks so sad. I almost feel guilty taking her away from her life. Yes, I know. Still, I feel badly for her. True enough. Who'd have thought a sister would prove to be an adept thief and spy, eh? Good for you, maybe. Her, I'm not so sure about. Oh, fine, have it your way. Stomp on my one little feeling. Really? I'm not sure I could dismiss it so easily. I mean, it's not as if we didn't need the help when she came to us. And how could she have known? Maybe you're right. It's not as if she could have known that we needed help so desperately after all. Yet, there she was, Morrigan. Do you trust her? Think about it. Maybe Flemeth sent her with us for some other reason than she said. Well, aside from the fact that she's a complete and utter bitch, no, I don't like her at all. Why, do you? Great. So they were right. Well, it's your funeral. Sure. Beautiful, just like something that's also dangerous, like a beautiful, dangerous thing. Oh, I give up. Do what you want. Yes, one of those, but more evil. That's the most sensible thing I've heard out of you yet. Just remember that she's dangerous too, and evil, and mean. Hello? Have you met her? I think she'd need a reason not to betray us. Well, there is that. Just tell me one thing. Is it true what the others say? Do you have a thing going with Morrigan? Tell me it's not true. You think we have better things to do all day than talk about you? Come on, tell me it's not true. Oh, someone's a little touchy, eh? Attacking my manhood and everything. That must mean it's true. Well, fine. It's your funeral. Enough. I think my curiosity is sated. Let's get back to it, shall we? You are such a terrible liar. I am so disappointed. Well, it's your funeral. Oh, so it is true. Well, that's just great. That's super. Well, it's your funeral. Don't tell me you actually get along with her. Tell me she's just useful and you're watching her carefully and you're just going to let her follow us around. A Maleficar and Maker knows what else. Oh, ha ha. That's so funny. I just about fainted. It is not. All right. Maybe it is a little. You may have a point. Great. I am thrilled beyond words. Now, really, I've got this nefarious plan to go around to each of them and secretly tell them all the nasty things you said. That way they'll mutiny and I shall become the group leader. Hey, that's a pretty good policy. Where exactly is lunch anyway? Ouch, now I'm wounded. Look at me, bleeding all over the place. You're just not very nice, are you? What? Lead? Me? No leading. Bad things happen when I lead. We get lost, people die, and the next thing you know, I'm stranded somewhere, without any pants. Seriously though, I'm only curious. I've had enough time to form my own opinions, and I just want to see if yours are any different. Just try and stop me. Let's see, where should I begin? Why wouldn't I? Of course I care what you think. Aren't we friends? Oh, so it's like that, is it? Fine then. Have it your way. I'll just mind my business and pass the time staring at stuff. Over there. Why? I thought we were friends. What's the harm? Little Miss Grumpy Girdle rears her head once again, I see. Have it your way then. You know, I've been thinking. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Funny, I'm sure. Just listen for a minute. Back when we left Goldana's, you told me I needed to look out for myself more than I do. I'm beginning to think you were right. I need to stop letting everyone else make my decisions for me. I need to take a stand and think about myself for a change, or I'm never going to be happy. Then from this point on, I'll be looking out for myself more. I should have done this a long time ago. Oh, I thought for sure that you... Never mind, I'm confused now and probably not making any sense. Just forget I said anything. No, what you said made sense. You were right. I should be looking out for myself more. Or did I not understand you? I don't have to do it. I want to. What you said made sense. I should have done this a long time ago. I just wanted to thank you. Being with you is the one bright spot out of everything that's happened. Fair enough. Lead the way. I just wanted to thank you. Meeting you is the one bright spot out of everything that's happened. I just wanted to thank you. You've been a great friend through all of this. The one bright spot in everything that's happened. Let's go. We've got a lot left to do. You're the one who came to talk to me. I'm going to say what's on my mind, so just listen. Look, before we go any further, I want to say something. I appreciate that you brought me to see my sister, and that you were there to talk me down after we left. You're a true friend, and I love you. I just wanted to tell you that. Well, now that that's out of the way, I guess I mixed up one feeling for another. I thought I didn't mean to make this awkward. Good. I have no problem with that. Let's just go. Right. Forget I said anything then. Let's just go. You're a true friend. I just wanted to tell you that. That we are. I have your back. You know that, right? Here, look at this. Do you know what this is? Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to trick you. Is it working? Oh, just about had you, didn't I? I picked it in Lothering. I remember thinking, how could something so beautiful exist in a place with so much despair and ugliness? I probably should have left it alone, but I couldn't. The Darkspawn would come and their taint would just destroy it. So I've had it ever since. I thought that I might give it to you. Actually. In a lot of ways, I think the same thing when I look at you. I don't know. I guess it's not like you could put it somewhere or wear it or anything, is it? A gentle flower? No. I don't know that I'd put it that way. Oh, wow. She'll never see through that, I told myself. Boy, was I wrong. It's good to know I have one, at least. I guess it's a bit silly, isn't it? I just thought, here I am, doing all this complaining, and You haven't exactly been having a good time of it yourself. I'm glad you like it. I was just thinking, here I am doing all this complaining, and you haven't exactly been having a good time of it yourself. You've had none of the good experience of being a Grey Warden since your joining. Not a word of thanks or congratulations. It's all been death and fighting and tragedy. I thought maybe I could say something. Tell you what a rare and wonderful thing you are to find amidst all this darkness. Ha ha! You won't land me that easily, woman. I know I'm quite the prize, after all. No need to start crying on me or anything. I guess it was just a stupid impulse. I don't know. Was it the wrong one? What else can I do? Write a poem? Pull your hair? I just saw the rose and I suppose I did it on impulse. Was it the wrong one? Cute? Cute? Oh, just what I was aiming for. Ow! You could just stab me in the face first before you say something like that. I'm glad you like it. Now, if we could move right on past this awkward, embarrassing stage and get right to the steamy bits, I'd appreciate it. Yes, I was. Let the awkward and embarrassing stage continue unabated then. Oh, look, is that a cloud? I expect rain. Oh? You're lost then. All the ladies go on and on about how suave I am. I don't know how you can resist me like you do. Ha ha. Bluff called. Damn, she saw right through me. I'll be standing over here until the blushing stops. Just to be safe. You know how it is. Ow. Now why don't you tell me how you really feel? Well, you can't blame me for trying, can you? It was stupid of me. I don't know what I was thinking. Just forget I said anything. We have better things to do right now, anyhow. Yes, that's right. Watch as I thrash our enemies with the mighty power of floral arrangements. Feel my thorns, darkspawn. Ah! I will overpower you with my rosy scent. Or, you know, it could just be a rose. I know that's pretty dull in comparison. Is it that easy to see right through me? Huh. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. So, let me ask you something. A personal question. I'm wondering about Zevran, really. It seems like the two of you have become quite friendly. I'm just curious. Maybe it's inappropriate of me to ask, but what are your intentions towards him? Is it very serious? If you'll tell me, that is. No, I suppose it's really not. I was under the impression that the two of you were romantically involved. I would have said something sooner, but I didn't know how to put it without sounding, jealous. So, now that I've got that off my chest, let me ask something else. Do you have any feelings towards me? I'd hoped that was the case. I see. No, I'm not jealous. I see. I can't say that I'm surprised. I guess I'd hoped it might be different, that we were... Well, no point in discussing that now, is there? Why not? Am I hearing you right? I thought you said there was something between you two. So? I guess that means you don't see anything wrong with... I'm sorry that I brought this up. Please excuse me. I'm not sure what I would say to that, to be honest. It doesn't seem right to lead him on. Or, well, to lead me on, to be honest. Either you're with someone or you're not. Does that mean that there might be something between us then? Or am I fooling myself? Maybe it is. I can't help that. Yes, that's probably for the best. I hope so too. Yes, I guess it is. I should have known better. I'm very happy for you both. Now, if you'll excuse me, if I waited for an appropriate time, I'd never get to talk to you about anything, would I? No, not a joke. I could think of one if I tried really hard, though. Well, no, not very bad, not terrible. Nothing that you should be worried about, anyway. On second thought, maybe I'm lying. I can't think of a good joke right now. So, all this time we've spent together, the tragedy, the brushes with death, the constant battles with the whole blight looming over us. Will you miss it once it's over? I know it might sound strange, considering we haven't known each other for very long, but I've come to care for you, A great deal. I think maybe it's because we've gone through so much together. I don't know. Or maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe I'm fooling myself. Am I? Fooling myself? Or do you think you might ever feel the same way about me? So I fooled you, did I? Good to know. That wasn't too soon, was it? Well, is it too soon for this? Well, what can I say? I tried my best. Perhaps once this is all said and done with, we'll have more time to talk. Until then, I apologize if I've been too forward. Well, I'll have to arrange that then, won't I? Good. I'll take that as a good sign. What about Zevran? I don't like the idea of leading him on. You know what I mean. Either you're with him, or you're with me. No, I'm sorry, but I just can't do that. I'm sorry to put this on you, but I have to. If you can't, then that is your decision. I can't do it otherwise. I won't. I'm sorry. Thank you. I am a lucky man, don't I know it? Well, that's how it has to be then. He's a lucky man. Maker's breath, but you're beautiful. I am a lucky man. Now, let's get back to what we were up to before, lest I forget why we're here. Yes, that's me. Funny man. Well, there's nothing more to discuss, is there? I'll just wander off and swallow my foot. Maybe both of them, excuse me. But that doesn't mean we would necessarily be fighting them together. Yes, only one of the old sisters at the monastery used to never laugh at my jokes. No matter how hard I tried, she'd just glare at me and then rap me with her cane. Hardly. I would roll around on the ground, writhing like she'd killed me so all the other boys would laugh. And then she'd drag me out of class by my ear. I'm not sure why I thought it was worth it. I'm a sucker for punishment, I guess. That's sweet. See? That's why I like you. You're so sentimental. You mind me saying something? I just wanted to say that you aren't who I thought you were. I know you probably don't care, but I just thought I'd say it. So never mind me. Just go ahead and ask whatever you were going to. Nope, not anymore. Don't worry about it. We have more important things to do, right? Oh, wait. I get it. I talk too much, right? That was subtle. You know what? Never mind. I'm sure it will be easier on you if I just talked a lot less. Go ahead and ask whatever you were going to. Of course, stupid me. I'm sure you had something much more important to talk about anyhow, right? Never mind. Just ask me whatever you were going to that was so damned important. Something you need, my dear? What can I say? Your wish is my command. Fair enough. Off we go then. Your desire is my command. Join you? In your tent? No, of course not. I heard you. It's just that... I'm sorry, I shouldn't be nervous. It's not like I don't want to... Oh, that's not it. At all. Not that I want to seem overeager. I must sound like a fool. You know that I've never done anything like this. With anyone. I was quite sheltered after all. I care for you so much. Whenever I think of this, I feel like a bumbling idiot. All hands... I wish I could be better at this. I want it to be right. With the Darkspawn on our heels, death awaiting us at every turn? Sure, why not? Hot. I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot, if you are. Then we'll wait. Is my face red? I need to go dunk my head in something. Excuse me. Oh, I guess I just can't be the man you want me to be, can I? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not the man you need me to be then. I'm sorry. You know where it's going. I'm going to be king. And what it means beyond that, I don't know yet. I'll tell you one thing. I don't intend to let you get away if that's what you're thinking. King or no king, I'll find a way to make it work. I don't know. Arleman wants to make me king at the Landsmeet. I never ever wanted that, not in my wildest dreams. But I won't refuse it if it's in the best interests of the nation either. I love you. You know that, right? But I have no idea what being king will mean for us. I'll have to think about that. If I'm king, I have no idea what that would mean for us. I I'll need to think some more about that. Wow. You don't hold back on the hard questions, huh? I don't know where this is going. We have the blight to think of first, don't we? Everything else just seems so distant. Oh, I see. Can I ask why? If this is what you really want, then so be it. I'd hoped... No, never mind. It's done. I guess it's better this way. Let's not drag it out, right? I'll leave you alone then, since that's apparently what you want. Yes? At your service. What do you need now? Ask away. Something on your mind? Not unless they were asking me for a favour. Well, there was that one time in Denerim, but those women were... not like you. Why? Is this your way of telling me you think I'm handsome? Just idle conversation, huh? Not flirting at all? All right then, have it your way. Maybe. It doesn't hurt to have a pretty girl say that, though. Beats being run through with a sword any day. So, is this the part where I get to say the same? Oh, well, I'll think about it then. Sometime soon, I'm sure. Oh, I think so. I'll just spring it on you when it's a surprise. Oh, I get it. I'll get it out of you yet. Oh, nothing much. I just get to grin a bit and look foolish for a while. Never what? Had a good pair of shoes? I'm not sure I do. Have I never seen a basilisk? Ate jellied ham? Have I never licked a lamppost in winter? Make fun of you, dear lady. Perish the thought. Well, tell me. Have you ever licked a lamppost in winter? Make fun of my comrade in arms? Perish the thought. Well, you tell me, have you ever licked a lamppost in winter? Oh, so that's what we're talking about. Well, I admit I've never had a woman just come out and ask me like this, that's for sure. Oh, so that's what we're talking about. Well, if you really want to know, you tell me first. And apparently you have no shame as well. Well, all right, I'll play along. And I'm supposed to tell you everything? Just spill your guts, Allistair. I'm bored, and your private details exist to amuse me. Oh, that's funny. Such cruelty from such a beautiful woman. If you hear sobbing later, that's me crying myself to sleep. Of course you are, and you know it. You're ravishing, resourceful, and all those other things you probably hurt me for not saying. Nor I, you. Let us be off then, lest your risque talk make my ears blush. That's what I'm here for. It's a tough job, but somebody has to do it. Did I say beautiful? Do you have any particular opinion on my saying that? Then I'll have to think of something more provocative next time, won't I? Until then, we should get underway, no? I have many tearful nights in my tent to contemplate, after all. Yes, of course. I see exactly what you mean. Well said. Ha ha ha. Your cruel interrogation will be remembered forever. I've been told that. But your telling me gives me a wound that will last forever, I tell you, forever. Oh, that's funny. Your cruel japes will be remembered, sir. If you hear sobbing later, that's me crying myself to sleep. Fine, fine. I never have. Not that I haven't thought about it, of course, but, you know, good. I hear it's quite painful. I remember one of the younger initiates did it on a dare once, and there was pointing and laughing. Oh, the humanity. I myself have also never done it. That. Not that I haven't thought about it, of course, but, you know. Well, living in the Chantry is not exactly a life for rambunctious boys. They taught me to be a gentleman, especially in the presence of beautiful women such as yourself. That's not so bad, is it? Good. You'd want a gentleman to court you, wouldn't you? If you were to be courted by someone, that is. That's good to know. I'll have to remember that. I've no urge to rush into anything. We may not even survive what is to come, after all. Enough. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's go. Well, living in the Chantry it's not exactly a life for rambunctious boys. They raised me to be a gentleman. That's not so bad, is it? Just the once. And you didn't lose half of your tongue in the process. I'm impressed. I, myself, never had the pleasure. Not that I haven't thought about it, of course. But, you know, cute. Well, hearing that from a beautiful woman does make me feel much luckier. I'll say that. That's a disturbing mental image you've conjured for me right there. But how? This painful and cruel interrogation will haunt me, I tell you, haunt me forever. Or maybe just until lunch. Lunch makes everything better. Oh, look, I have cheese. You mean other than becoming a Grey Warden? You know, I asked Duncan this too. And all I got was, you'll see. Oh, it's not that Duncan wants to keep it a secret. It's just that the Grey Wardens don't discuss it much. I gather it's not a pleasant topic. The first change I noticed was an increase in appetite. I used to get up in the middle of the night and raid the castle larder. I thought I was starving. I'd slurp down every dinner like it was my last. My face all covered in gravy. When I'd look up, the other Grey Wardens would stare, then laugh themselves to tears. More like an initiation. They all went through it too. Really? Because I was watching you wolf down food the other day, and I thought, ooh, it's a good thing she gets a lot of exercise. Not at all. I've never seen a pig eat like that. Ever. I jest, don't kill me. I suppose it could affect women differently from men. I've never asked. I'll say. I didn't mean it like that. No, don't hit me. I bruise easily. Really? I saw you eating dinner the other day. Savage. Fine, I take it back. But if you keep shoveling down our rations like that, the entire party is going to starve. I guess it affects people differently. Regardless of the cause, you're still a savage. Ah, yes, the classy camaraderie of two men travelling out in the open. I take it you were like this before the joining, then. That's me, Allistair the pig. I can go through a trough in 5 seconds flat, just you watch. Oh, and then there were the nightmares. Duncan said it was part of how we sense the Darkspawn. We tap into their, well, I don't know what you call it, their group mind. And when we sleep, it's even worse. You learn to block it out after a while, but at first it's hard. It's supposed to be worse for those who join during a blight. How is it for you? Some people never have much trouble, but that's rare. Others have trouble sleeping their entire life. They're just more sensitive, I suppose. Everyone ends up the same, though. Once you reach a certain age, the real nightmares come. That's how a Grey Warden knows his time has come. Oh, that's right. We never had time to tell you that part, did we? Well, in addition to all the other wonderful things about being a Grey Warden, you don't need to worry about dying from old age. You've got 30 years to live, give or take. The taint. It's a death sentence. Ultimately, your body won't be able to take it. When the time comes, most Grey Wardens go to Orzammar and die in battle rather than waiting. It's tradition. And you wondered why we kept the joining a secret from the new recruits. Well, there you have it. You know, Duncan, he started having the nightmares again. He told me that in private. He said it wouldn't be long before he'd go to Orzammar himself. I guess he got what he wanted. I just wish it had been something worthy of him. Why? Because he made you take the joining? You know why you're here, and it isn't because of him. Maker's breath, I can't believe you'd even say such a thing. Why? Because he made you take the joining. You know why you're here, and it isn't because of him. We can look forward to ending the blight. That's what's supposed to make this worth it. I know. Ending the blight should make this all worthwhile, right? You think if we asked for volunteers that Grey Wardens would exist? Maybe a few. You wouldn't be here. Neither would I, probably. And the blight needs to be stopped. I suppose it is. We're the only ones who can stop the blight, however. Is there a price too high to pay for that? You'll always find Darkspawn down where the dwarves are. The oldest Grey Wardens head to the deep roads for one last glorious battle. Not that there's a shortage of Darkspawn during a blight, but that's the tradition. The dwarves respect us for it. We're all going to die. When Duncan told me, I was angry. He put his hand on my shoulder and said this. It's not how you die that's important. It's how you live. I have other lines for you. Trust me. I can think of much better lines for you. Understood. I might. Just you wait. I didn't know them for very long. But I guess it was longer than you. You never met them all, did you? They were quite a group. Actually, they felt like an extended family since we were all cut off from our former lives. We also laughed more than you'd think. There was this one time... Well, you probably don't want to hear stories about men you didn't know. Not as Grey Wardens, not while I was there. I saw pictures of some, though none of them were as pretty as you are. Not as Grey Wardens, not while I was there. I saw pictures of some who had been, and they all seemed to be able warriors. One was even a Templar. Just one, a man named Terramel. He kept to himself mostly. I got the impression that his life before the Grey Wardens was unpleasant. There was one when I first joined, a dwarf named Kerrick. He was one of the elders, and he left for Orzammar before the reports of the Blight began. It's too bad, really. Kerrick said that he never wanted to go back. He wanted to die fighting Darkspawn on the surface. There was one Grey Warden who came all the way from the Anderfells. What was his name? It was Gregor. He was a burly man with the biggest, fuzziest beard you've ever seen. And the man could drink. He drank all the time, but he never got drunk. Finally, we all made a pool to see just how many pints it would take to put him under the table. Sometimes. We were kin of a sort. All of us had gone through the joining, so we knew... Well, anyhow, it doesn't have to be deadly serious all the time. Oh, it wasn't always like that. Does it have to be serious and deadly all the time? Oh, I honestly doubt it. You might have tried, but this fella had a supernatural constitution, I swear. Anyhow, we never did find out. He said he'd drink a pint for every half pint that the rest of us drank. He was still going by the time the rest of us were passed out. I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all passed out from one end of the hall to the other, and Gregor still drinking. Duncan laughed until he nearly... Yes, I suppose so. I thought I was done with this, but it just struck me that I have nothing to remember Duncan by, nothing at all. There's no body, not even a token of his that I could take with me. That must sound really stupid to you. I just would have liked something of his to take with me, that's all. Well, there's no use in moaning about it, is there? He's gone. Let's just go. Never mind. I don't want to talk about the Grey Wardens anymore. Let's just go. I know. I wasn't expecting it to hit me, I'm sorry. Then there's nothing really for me to tell, is there? You never asked? All right. If you want the full explanation, I'll give it to you. The thing is, I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know. It was always a secret. Even Duncan was the only Grey Warden who knew. And then, after the battle, when I should have told you, I don't know, it seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that? Yes, well, I suppose part of me kind of liked you not knowing. It's just that anyone who's ever found out has treated me differently afterwards. I was the bastard prince instead of just being Allistair. More dangerous than the regular kind of danger we've faced since the battle. I don't know about that. They treat me differently. I become the bastard prince to them, instead of just Allistair. I know that must sound stupid to you, but I hate that it shaped my entire life. I never wanted it, and I certainly don't want to be king. The very idea of it terrifies me. For all the good it does me, my blood seems certain to haunt me no matter what I do. And now Arleman plans to put me forward as the heir. It never ends, does it? I guess I should be thankful that Arleman is far more likely to inherit the throne. If he's all right. Oh, I hope he's all right. I guess I should be thankful that Arleman is far more likely to inherit the throne than I am. He's not royal blood, but he was Kaelin's uncle. And more importantly, is very popular. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. I guess I was just hoping that you would like me for who I am. It was a dumb thing to do. No, but now I wish I were. Forget I said anything. Oh. You see, I didn't know that. I understand. I wish I could take it back. I guess it's kind of a relief that you know now. Let's go. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. It was a dumb thing to do. Thanks. What else can you expect from me, right? You can say that again. I don't think I've ever had a choice in the matter. Right from when I was born, all my choices have been made for me. Hello? Have you met me? I'm no leader of men. I don't want to be the person sitting on the throne and making decisions that affect the lives of others. It just isn't me. Thanks. It's nice to know you'll be there to support me. I'll point out that you did ask. I should have told you, anyway. It was important for you to know. I guess part of me likes you not knowing. No, calm down. I'm not trying to make you more upset. Let me explain. We are friends. I didn't mean to... It wasn't supposed to... Oh, let me explain. No, please don't think that. It's not that I didn't trust you. It's... Please, let me try to explain. Well, not just that. I wasn't trying to deceive you on purpose. Let me explain. I think I've heard this somewhere. It seems to be a theme, doesn't it? Don't worry about it. I'll chalk it up to a woman's prerogative, right? You're forgiven. Don't worry about it, honestly. Right. Let's just forget about it, shall we? Touchy, are we? I can't imagine what you wanted to apologize for. Don't worry about it. It's already forgotten. You do? What do you know? Wishes really do come true sometimes. How could I not? You're too pretty not to forgive. Consider it forgotten. Done and done. Easy, isn't it? Let's never speak of it again. I just love the way you apologize. It's so novel and fresh. Like crisp mountain air. Yeah, true. Stupid apologies, always taking so long. Back to the adventure! What do you need? Yes, me too. And I got the feeling at the end there that it saw us, was aware of us, whatever you want to call it. Could have just been my imagination, I suppose. What do you think? I thought we were already being extra careful. Does that mean we have to be extra careful now? Great. And there I was, enjoying my nap. You know how some people want to be right all the time? Me, not so much. Good. I'd like to go on believing that. For a while longer, anyway. Well, short of waltzing through the entire Darkspawn horde and tapping it on the nose, I'm not sure just how we're supposed to do that. But killing the archdemon is the general plan, I understand. Good to have you on board. I guess one thing is certain, at least, isn't it? It's official. This is a blight. Such as they are. That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands. Here in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Loghain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt. Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in the Anderfells, 1,000 miles from here, but I've no idea how to even contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go. I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Loghain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us. I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens, right? But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it. Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be 2 of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere. Just left? You mean just left Ferelden? I don't know. If there's an archdemon, however, we're supposed to be the only ones who can defeat it. And that means the blight would grow unchecked. Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it, and they would come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden. There's no way. I'm not going anywhere. About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you? I do my best. What can I say? Let's see, I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills. That's what I was trained for, though I never got to hunt any actual mages. I ended up joining the Grey Wardens before I took the sacramental vows. It's really for the best. I'm not exactly the Chantry type, if you haven't noticed. I don't think I would have made a very good Templar. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did? I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky. I don't know. Maybe. When he came looking for recruits, I just remember praying fervently to the Maker that he would pick me. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have. No, it's... I'm sorry. I shouldn't be... It's fine. He died a hero. They all did. Yes, you're right. I should be angry for what happened to him, not sad. I shouldn't forget what Loghain did. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking. Oh, I suppose the Chantry life is good enough for some. Here, we have the chance to fight against the Blight, to actually do some good instead of sitting in a temple somewhere. I wondered that myself. It's not as if she valued me highly. I think she just didn't want to give anything to the Grey Wardens, is all. The Chantry didn't lose much. And I think I can do more fighting the Blight anyhow, rather than sitting in a temple somewhere. You're telling me I was banished to the kitchens to scour the pots more times than I can count. And that's a lot. I can count pretty high. Well, it wasn't an easy life, you know. I don't know whether or not you've noticed, but I'm not exactly the Chantry type. I never meant it that way. Don't be like that. You're cute when you get all irritable, you know that. You get this little knot right between your... Oh, never mind. Well, aren't you, little Miss Grumpy Girdle? Ah, my secret is out. Now at last I can stop pretending. Pardon the drooling. Don't tell anyone else. They'll just mock me in my sleep. And I'm very sensitive. Oh, fine. Have it your way. Look, I'll even stand up straight if you like. All right. No sense of humour for you, hey? You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did. I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry. I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of. I suppose he did. It probably sounds stupid, but part of me wishes I was with him. In the battle. I feel like I abandoned him. Of course, I'd be dead then, wouldn't I? It's not like that would make him happier. Yes, I know. I think he came from High Ever, or so he said. Maybe I'll go up there sometime. See about putting up something in his honor. I don't know. The Dalish don't practice cremation, do they? How do your people honor your dead? That sounds quite beautiful. Life, springing from death. Thank you. It was good to talk about this with a friend. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little. I'd like that. So would he, I think. That's good to hear. It's nice to know I'm not the only one who remembers him well. Sure, nobody needs to know what a softy you are. It's our little secret. I suppose you're right. Oh, sorry about that. Let's get going. We still have a lot to do, right? Dwarves don't practice cremation, do they? How do your people honor your dead? I heard about that, now that I think about it. Their spirits return to the rock, strengthening the foundation of the Taig. It sounds so strange. Have you had someone close to you die? Not that I mean to pry, I'm just... Oh, of course. How stupid of me to forget. Here I am going on and on about Duncan, and you... I am so sorry. Yes, I suppose you must have. I can't even imagine, really. That must have felt a lot like when I got sent to the Chantry. You mages don't even get a say in the matter, after all. Yes, I imagine you really have, haven't you? I don't know. I have no idea what the Grey Wardens do for when they fall in battle. You're right. This isn't really the time to mourn, is it? Not when there's so many who are still going to die unless we do something. Mourning can come later. By the time the snows come, this will all be done one way or the other. Don't worry. So long as we're looking at taking down that bastard Loghain, I won't be losing any sleep at night. And quite frankly, I regret you ever seeing me fall apart. I wish you hadn't been there at all. Let's just get going, shall we? And thanks for the warm concern. For a moment there, I thought you might actually have cared. Oh, did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact. Well, it wasn't until I was 8 that I discovered you didn't have to lick yourself clean. Old habits die hard, you know. And my table manners too. Though, come to think of it, they weren't all that different from the other Templars. Well, if you're going to go and pay attention to the facts, then fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Allistair wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him any more for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough. And family of a sort. He was King Maric's brother-in-law, which makes him my uncle? No, not even that. Anyhow, he didn't have to take me in. He could have sent me anywhere to be raised. I guess he did it out of loyalty to Maric. They were the best of friends. I tried to tell you this earlier when we got to Redcliffe. My father was King Maric. King Caelan was my half-brother, I suppose. How? When would I say that? Oh, by the way, King Maric had sex with a servant and she produced an inconvenient bastard son. That's me. I would have told you, but it never really meant anything to me. I was inconvenient, a possible threat to Caelan's rule, and so they kept me secret. I've never talked about it to anyone. Everyone who knew either resented me for it or they coddled me. Even Duncan kept me out of the fighting because of it. I guess I was glad that you didn't know. I'm sorry. Good. I'm glad. It's not like it's ever brought me anything decent anyhow. At any rate, that's it. That's what I had to tell you. I thought you should know about it. Besides my unholy love of fine cheeses and a minor obsession with my hair, no, that's it. Just the prince thing. No, Maker's breath! Just hearing that gives me a heart attack. It's not true, anyhow. I'm the son of a commoner and a Grey Warden. It was always made clear that the throne is not in my future. Did I just find the one damn decent thing about my birthright? I think I did. Not that I would want someone to like me for that reason, but there are worse fates. Yes, because that's what I want. Someone to find attractive, the one thing I hate the most. Gosh, watch me swoon. Because it will probably come up. I didn't want to walk into Redcliffe without you knowing the truth. That would be just awkward. I have no illusions about my status, however. It's always been made very clear that I'm a commoner and now a Grey Warden, and in no way in line for the throne. Oh, no. No, I don't like the sound of that, if that's where you're going. It was made very clear to me early on that there's no room for me on the throne. Look, I said I'm sorry. I know I should have said something. It's never brought me anything but problems. I wish it weren't even true. Yes, because we've gotten along so swimmingly before now, because you're such a close confidant. You're right, I should have. It's brought me nothing but problems, to be honest. I have no idea. Probably. He was King Maric's best friend. I don't know if that means anything, though. I certainly never considered the idea that it might ever be important. Ha! Yes, I guess it does, at that. I should use that line more often. Maker's breath, I hope not. I don't think so. You don't think so, do you? I'm a bastard, and nobody even knows about me. I know who I was told was my father. He died even before my mother did, anyhow. It isn't important. Allistair eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, then you, Allistair, resented the rumours which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care. But she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Allistair made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me. She may have. But I think it's more likely that she feared the rumours might be true. I can't blame her for that. Probably. It was just a kindness he did to a woman who had served him anyway. I didn't sleep on silk sheets in the keep or anything. Maybe. She felt threatened by my presence, I can see that now. I can't say I blame her. She wondered if the rumours were true herself, I bet. I suppose you're right. I wasn't raised as the Arl's son, though, if you're picturing that. I slept in hay, out in the stables, not on silk sheets. I remember I had an amulet, with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming. Oh, let's hope not. I'm the son of a commoner and a Grey Warden to boot. It's been made very clear to me early on that there was no room for me raising any rebellions or such nonsense. And that's fine by me, too. No, if there's an heir to be found anywhere, it's Al Eamon himself. He's not royal blood, but he is Caelan's uncle, and more importantly, very popular with the people. Though, if he's really as sick as we've heard... No, I don't want to think about that, I really don't. Yes, I'm quite sure. At any rate, I don't look anything like him, you'll see for yourself. Not that it stopped the rumours any. My blood has never been important to me. I've spent my whole life trying to forget about it and being told that I would never sit on the throne, and raised by dogs. Or I may as well have been, the way I acted. But maybe all young bastards act like that. I don't know. I think so, yes. This news we've heard about him being sick disturbs me, though. I wonder if we won't discover that Loghain has come to the same conclusion as we have. He's family. He was also King Caelan's uncle, and he's a good man, well loved by the people. So, yes, I think he will be motivated to help us somehow. All I know is that the Arl is a good man, and well loved by the people. He also was King Caelan's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. So there you have it. Now can we just move on? And I'll just pretend you still think I'm some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens. See? I knew you could do it. It's easy, isn't it? Oh, lovely. I'm going to regret this. Somehow I just know it. Well, no. What I really think is that I was lucky enough to survive with you. No, I suppose not. At least I have a chance to make things right. And I'm not alone. No, I suppose not. I don't feel very lucky at all, to be honest. I can't believe I didn't say something sooner to you. I feel very unworthy of such a compliment. I feel very unworthy of that. But thank you. The reason why I say I was lucky. The reason I think we have a chance of setting things right. Some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens. Welcome to the club. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story. I was young and resentful and not very pious. Of course I blamed him. I remember screaming at him like a little child. Well, I was a child, so I doubt he was surprised. Oh, there you go, listening to me again. You'd think you'd have gotten past that already. I ended up in the Chantry, sure, but I didn't start there. Well, they were flying dogs, you see. Surprisingly strict parents, too, and devout Andrastians to boot. That, and that they make a great deal of cheese. Funny, but the dogs never mentioned cheese. As a matter of fact, if you said cheese around them, they'd start growling. Isn't that odd? Or did I dream all of that? Funny the dreams you'll have when you sleep on a cold, hard ground, isn't it? Or did I dream all of that? Funny the dreams you'll have when you sleep on the cold, hard ground, isn't it? Are you having strange dreams? You would do violence upon me? I am shocked and dismayed. The dogs would never threaten me like this, you know. I think I completely lost my chain of thought. Oh, there it is. Point taken. You have no sense of humour, you know that. Fine, fine. Have it your way. Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring. You didn't have to put up with all the years of boring bookwork and all the rituals and prayer, so you don't get the uniform. Consider yourself lucky. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring. You know, I like the way you think. But I guess if you're really curious, there's no harm in obliging. I have a couple of interesting-looking moles I can show you later, too, if you're interested. You know, I like the way you think. You're all right. If you're really curious, then I'll tell you. The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it. The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. No, I never got that far. I mostly learned about discipline and training my mind to use the abilities that Templars have. It was difficult, but rewarding. Using the abilities I have came after years of education and discipline that was difficult to achieve, if rewarding. The sword training and religious doctrine all came later. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home? You must miss them a great deal. Duncan and the Grey Wardens are the closest I ever got to that kind of family. Right. Stupid of me to ask, I'm sorry. But it's not your home anymore, right? You can never go back for good. I think I understand how you feel. Really? I guess I like the sound of that. It is. I didn't know you felt that way. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again, though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way, I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Maybe. Could you? I don't know what I'd find out there that would be any different. I guess it would depend on where I was going. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now. You're right. Best to concentrate on what we have to do right now. Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Allistair. All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right? I suppose there's no harm in it, then. Sorry if I was being perverse. I'm just not used to anyone asking me these things. Then let's just get back to what we were doing. No offense, but I'd really rather not discuss it. Well, then why did you bother asking? Leave it well enough alone next time. Paid in blood, sweat, and hours upon hours spent flagellating myself in the dark. The true mark of any pious man out there, I tell you. I'd use my shield if I could, but I think you might actually spot me hiding behind it. Oh, you aren't kidding. I think the Templar uniforms are as colourful as they are just so the Templars didn't feel dull in comparison. Last thing you want when you're about to take down some Maleficar out in the woods is to have him point and laugh at your taste in clothing, am I right? Oh, ow, ow. Stab wounds to the pride are the worst. Oh, you know, between all the guilt and the hours spent in solemn prayer, any good Templar or priest is just bursting to tell a few good jokes when the opportunity arises. I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. Brings a tear to the eyes, you know. Oh, sure. They said that all the self-flagellation would be unpleasant, but you know what they say. One man's pain. That's just in public. In private, we have these yellow and purple tunics, right? Much more comfortable, and you don't break the beds when you jump on them during a pillow fight. I used to be able to, but then the Chantry beat it out of me. Sad but true. I can't hardly get through a pillow fight these days without being overcome with guilt either. The way you look at me with those big eyes of yours, you remind me of one of the priests who ran the monastery. She would give you the evil eye, and you'd want to faint dead away. I'm not kidding. You're quite determined to get this out of me, aren't you? Having all your fun drained out of you must make you nosy. Pillow fights? I mean, no, of course not. I meant sword fights. With rusty swords, dripping with acid. The kind that puts hair on your chest. On confession day, we could go all night. Being a Templar isn't all about chasing men in skirts and hiding behind priests, you know. Let's get what we came for and head back to Duncan. We need to get down to the wilds. The sooner you get this done, the better. Trust me. Let's cross the bridge and get to the Tower of Ishal! Let's just get to the tower. It may not be the most glamorous job, but we'd best not dawdle. It's like a party. We could all stand in a circle and hold hands. That would give the Darkspawn something to think about. The old god still whispered to some men and taught them magic. These men became the magisters of the Tevinter Empire. The Tevinter Empire had big statues of them. Each dragon had a name and a place in the cosmos. It's all very intricate. The archdemons may not be the old gods, but they're definitely dragons. Let's get back to Duncan quickly. If we wait too long, you won't be able to swing a dead cat without hitting a Darkspawn. We still need to get that Darkspawn blood. I wonder if they'll give it up nicely. We still need to find those documents, if they're even here. That's right. Usually that's not something you're allowed to stop. The Chantry spends a lot of time training you to fight mages. They don't like to give you up. I should have recognized you right away. I apologize. Hard to believe most folks here think the Darkspawn disappeared after the last blight, when your people still suffer every day. I'm sure the revered mother meant it as an insult, sending me as her messenger, and the mage picked right up on that. You don't know? Quick version, then. The Chantry tries to control mages because they're dangerous, so they keep Templars that train to hunt down and kill apostates. That's what I was being trained as when Duncan recruited me 6 months ago. He's done the best he can with what little he has. And that includes me, I guess. Careful. I'm sensing Darkspawn nearby. Best be on your guard. What do you know? More Darkspawn about. Prepare for random violence. My Grey Warden sense is tingling. We're in danger again. More Darkspawn. Close by. You know the drill. Sad, isn't it? I'm just curious. Maybe I shouldn't be asking this, but what's going on between you two? Is it something serious? Well, maybe there isn't anything wrong with it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just the idiot that doesn't know any better. It's not. It doesn't sound all that different. From your tone, I guess you just don't see anything wrong with... Maybe this is just a sign that we're not compatible. I'm just a rube who grew up in a hayloft, and you're... It doesn't seem right to lead her on. Or, well, to lead me on, to be honest. Either you're with someone or you're not. I'm wondering about... Well, about Liliana, really. It seems like the two of you have become quite friendly. So this might sound a bit strange, but I have to ask. It's a personal question. I'm sure most men would say I'm crazy, but no. I can't just do that. It's not in me. Well, you're going to have to. I'm sorry, but if you don't, it's just not fair to Liliana. Or to me. What about Liliana, then? I mean, sure, hot, but I don't like the idea of you leading her on. It's not that different, is it? I just think that you should either be with her or with me, and I'm not going to compete. Not with Liliana. If that's what you want, then that's what you want. Not a chance. That biddy could hear you close your eyes from around a corner. She just hated me. Hated me. I know! That's what I said. Ha! There'll be no more running for our lives. No more Darkspawn. Ugh. And no more camping in the middle of nowhere. Oh, I don't know that I'd go that far. Liliana's a lucky lady. I hope she makes you happy. Nefarious, even. Well, it doesn't have to be a bluff. It's just that we're, not alone. That works as an excuse, no? Maybe when we're back at camp some night. You know, in a tent. I really do, don't I? I keep telling myself that. Right, I'm going to stop talking now. Yeah, well, it's part of my charm, right? If you need me, I'll be standing over there. Yeah. Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right? Your tent. I know most guys would probably leap at the chance to be with you, but I don't know if I'm ready for that. It's a big step. I guess that must make me sound like an idiot. I mean, turn down an incredible woman like you, I'd have to be. I guess I was just raised not to take this sort of thing lightly. I hope it hasn't put you off. All right, so now that I've handled that with my usual deft brilliance, time to move on. And take a cold bath, maybe. Just what every man wants to hear. I didn't mean it like that. Handled with my typical brilliance, I suppose. Fantastic. More of a man. Meaning what? Someone who pours and drools all over you? Is that what you want? I care about you. I do. I just can't take something like this lightly. I wasn't raised that way. I'm sorry. And if you can't get that about me, I guess I'll never be the man you need. Best we just forget about it now. I can't. I'm not ready yet. It's just the two of us. What's on your mind? Well, we're not exactly alone. What did you have in mind? I agree. I don't intend to do anything to jeopardize that. Trust me. Is it? What about duty? What about honor? Those things are important too, aren't they? I hope they don't come between us, but I can't say that they won't. I'm sorry. This isn't really the time for this conversation. Please, let's just talk about this another time. Nor I you. Let's just deal with the blight first. There will be time for these sorts of discussions later. Trust me. Let's hope we have that option. We will. There's always a way. I hope so too. No? I thought the question deserved to be treated seriously. Maybe I was wrong. You know, I was just thinking the same thing. Given the circumstances, things could have been so much worse. I'm so grateful that you're you, instead of some other Grey Warden. That sounded better in my head. I just mean to say that I've really come to care about you. Now we just need to be rid of that pesky archdemon, and everything will be back to normal, right? Yeah, just part of my charm. Of course. I'm sorry. That sounded better in my head. I just mean to say that I can't imagine having done this without you. Oh, you want to right now? Well, who am I to refuse? Aha! I see talking isn't quite what you had in mind. Got it. The benefits of travelling alone, I see. Oh, but what about our audience? You don't think...
Oh, don't mind me.
Yeah, let's just not aggravate anyone, shall we?
I think it's cute.
Well, all right then.
Just treat me as if I'm not here. I don't mind.
No, let's not.
I've seen it a time or two. I won't gawk, trust me.
Oh, go on. You are both making me ill.
2 birds with 1 stone. I could get to like this.
Oh, don't mind me. I like to watch.
A little creepy, that.
Ah, young love.
Oh, never mind. 1 public display of affection coming up.
Disgusting.
If you really have to, go ahead. Of course, ask away. The taint makes it difficult for 1 Grey Warden to have a child. For 2, with each other, next to impossible. But maybe the future doesn't have to involve children, or marriage, or anything. I care about you so much. But maybe you're right. Maybe we don't have a future. Neither do I. Being with you would be worth it. Let's just see where this leads, shall we? There is still the blight to contend with. After that, so will I. Being with you would be worth it. Really, I was pretty sure we'd already said everything that needed saying. Well, you're going to have to. This isn't easy for me. Not becoming king, not... But I'm a Grey Warden, and so are you. We have a job to do. So please, let's focus on that. Thinking about you is just too painful and too tempting. We have a job to do, so please, let's focus on that. Everything else can't be changed now. Before we go, I just want to thank you. No one's ever made me feel this way. I wasn't sure it could happen, in fact. I did, actually, but let's get moving. Good to know. I don't know. I sure hope so. He was a good man who didn't deserve his fate. That much I'm sure of. Well, thankfully someone thinks so. All right, I give. I cannot match your rapier wit. Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells. You could call it that, sure. The Chantry doesn't look on it the same way, however, since really our talents only work on mages. Against a regular person, I'm just a guy in a metal suit. No, I never actually became a full Templar. Duncan recruited me before I took my vows. I was only present during 1 harrowing. That was all I needed, too. I don't know how anyone could get through that. I was only present during 1 harrowing. The ritual that they test the mages with. It's not unlike our joining, really. And just as deadly. The girl they tested, she had a demon put inside her. to see if she could resist. And she couldn't. We had to end it quickly. I have to say I didn't have much interest in becoming a Templar after that. You'd think that, but it's not so. Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put two and two together. Thankfully, no. You only start receiving lyrium once you've taken your vows. Well, they do it, and they feel perfectly justified. You think so, huh? You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templars' talents more effective, or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away, either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me. I suppose I could. But I really would rather not. When the Grand Cleric let Duncan recruit me, she made me swear never to reveal Templar secrets outside of the Chantry. I'd rather not go back on my word. Of course I do. It's just, I don't think you necessarily need Templar secrets to defeat the Darkspawn. Ask me later, perhaps. Maybe I'll change my mind. This is not something small you're asking, after all. Order away. Suddenly you're my commanding officer? You don't need my Templar secrets to defeat the Darkspawn. I already said I wouldn't. The answer is still no. Sure, I could. I could even teach you, I suppose. Anyone who's been trained as a warrior. Others, yes, but not yourself. I need someone who's trained first as a warrior. It's as much about discipline as anything. I guess if I'm going to give up Chantry secrets, I may as well go all the way. Send whoever you want trained to me in camp, and I'll see what I can do. And that makes you Duncan's new recruit, I suppose. Glad to meet you. Eager, are we? Davith and Sir Jory are here in the camp. Have you met them? That makes things easy then. They'll both be back with Duncan by now. The knight. Seems like a solid fellow, no? Right, that cut-purse Duncan conscripted. Not sure what Duncan sees in him, to be honest. Keep an eye out. Maybe we'll see one of them. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on. Far from it. I never wanted to be a Templar anyway. The beacon is over here. We've surely missed the signal. Let's light it quickly before it's too late. Wait, I know you don't want to do this anyway, so let me. I'll take the final blow and kill it. I do want to be king. I didn't, but now I do. And I want to be a good king. Honora can rule. I never cared about becoming king. You know that. And this right here is the best king I could be. My first and last act being to stop the blight before it really starts. No one could blame me for that, could they? You're right, I know. But did you really think I'd just let you do this? Maybe it is, but it's a good one. It's worth a decent song or two, even. Maybe. But we both know Honora would be better. Loghain needed to pay for his crimes, but she shouldn't. And neither should Ferelden. Really? Because I think I would be a piss-poor king. I don't know the first thing about it. Was it just to put me on the throne? Let's face it. I was convenient to take down Loghain. But what this country will need is a wise ruler. They don't want me to be king any more than I do. Not really. And that's not the only reason. You know how I feel about you. I won't let you die. Not if I can do something about it. I was an idiot, of course. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. You say that as if I'm giving you a choice. Sanest thing I've ever done. You'd better not. And that's not the only reason. You know how I feel about you. I would be dead if you hadn't saved my life a dozen times over by now. So let me save yours just this once. Not to mention that you're the best friend I could ever have asked for. Not to mention that you're a friend. We've fought back-to-back since Ostagar, and you've saved my life a dozen times over. I'd gladly return the favor, if you'll let me, so you needn't feel guilty about letting me do this. I want to do it. It's not for you. This is my duty as the King of Ferelden. I didn't want to be king, but you convinced me I should be. And I want to be a good king. You know why. I didn't want to become king, but now I am. This is my duty. You're surprised. I know how I feel about you. I won't let you die, not when I can do something about it. I would sacrifice myself for Ferelden. If I'm going to be king, I want to be a good king. But I got one up on you. I'm not just a Grey Warden. I'm the king. And I want to be a good king. Why not? This is my duty. If I'm going to be a king, I want to be a good king. No, yes, I probably am. I want to do this. Knew me that well, did you? It figures. I was an idiot to let you go. At least this way, I can do something right. Don't forget about me. You know how I feel about you. I'm glad we had the time we did. Don't forget about me. Good. Then there's no need to argue about it, is there? I know you said to Riordan that you would take the final blow, but let me. This is my duty. Of course I'm certain. You didn't really think I'd let you kill yourself, did you? Yes. I haven't been certain about much in my life, but about this I am. Thank you. For everything. You're a better friend than I could have asked for. Make her watch over you. It's been good fighting at your side. Make her watch over you. Tell Honora that she gets all the fun now. And good luck. Let me. There's no need for you to die. This is my duty. I should be the one to kill it. What I want is to stay with you. But I don't get that either way. So this works better. There you are. Let's go see what Riordan has to say. I see you can't sleep either. I also saw Morrigan outside your room earlier, and the look she gave me. Ooh, that was icy even for her. Is something up? Oh. I guess whatever Morrigan had to say, it's big. This is what I get for becoming king. Everyone always brings you the bad news. So what is it then? Rats running amok? Cheese supplies run low? I can take it. Could you make it sound more ominous? Tell me already. I had wondered if that was still so after... Why are you telling me this? Why are you being so ominous? I do, and I feel the same. But why tell me now? Why so ominous all of a sudden? Friends, I owe you everything. Even if you did go and make me king. Why? Why so ominous? Yes, of course. Why so ominous all of a sudden? That's not the best way to start a conversation. But, all right. We've been through enough together. I'll at least hear you out. I don't care for the sound of that. What are we talking about exactly? Cute. This is payback, right, for all the jokes? But you're not joking. You're actually serious? Wow. Be killed by the Archdemon or sleep with Morrigan. How does someone make that kind of choice? You're not actually asking me this, are you? What kind of ritual is this, anyway? Well, that's reassuring. Wait, no it isn't. What? I must be hearing things, but are you telling me to impregnate Morrigan in some kind of magical sex rite? This child, why would Morrigan want such a thing? Does she want an heir to the throne? Why am I not surprised? Oh, well, that's so much better, don't you think? Here I was, worried about creating another bastard heir, and I didn't even consider that it might also be some dragon god, whatever. Right until it marches up with an army to claim the throne, I'm sure. Now, there's a conversation I'm looking forward to. Who are you talking to? Of course it changes things. What if this is blood magic? I bet it's blood magic, isn't it? Look, even if I was willing to entertain this idea, and I'm not saying I am, is this really what you want me to do? Are you sure? I do trust you. If this is what you think is best, I'll do it. Trust you? This is too much. I can't just, all right, I do trust you, and I'll do it. Trust you? Very well. I do trust you. Then, all right, I trust you. I'll do it. Oh, where is she? Let's go and get this over with before I change my mind. No, I can't. I can't do it. You can't ask me to do this, not like this. Thank the Maker. You can't imagine how relieved I am to hear you say that. Look, even if I was willing to do this, and I'm not saying I am, do you really think this is a good idea? You're my friend, but we're talking about Morrigan. I suppose not. Not that the idea of sleeping with your woman exactly thrills me either, now that you mention it. Look, even if I was willing to do this, and I'm not saying I am, are you suggesting we trust Morrigan? I don't know. I suppose not. Though the fact that you're willing to send me off to sleep with her doesn't exactly thrill me. Agree? Just like that? No, I won't do that. You're the one who said I needed a spine, so now I have one. And I am not going to just do this without a better reason. Just agree. All right. I probably shouldn't, but what's the alternative? We could all be dead tomorrow anyway, right? Just agree. Just like that. No, not based on what you've told me. I can't. Oh, great. Of all the times to regret being a man. Look, just because I have the proper... just because I can... Look, that doesn't make this a good idea. So, that's how it's going to be, is it? I suppose I'll just have to live with the fact that you have me completely wrapped around your finger. All right, I give up. I'll do it. You know what? You're right. If this does what you say it will, I agree. I'll do it. High enough. You have met her before, right? Ah, so that's what this is all about, is it? Well, thank you for finally telling me. All right. If it will save your life or Riordan's, then I'll do it. Make her help me, but I'll do it. The answer is still no. If it comes to that, I will gladly die to end the blight if you won't. I don't know why Morrigan thought I would actually agree to this, or why she thought she had to send you. But it isn't going to happen. I'm going to get some sleep now. We are done talking about this. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. Riordan could end it, or both of us could die before we even get close. But if it could possibly spare you, or Riordan, then all right. Against my better judgment, I'll agree to this thing. You made me king, that's true. There was a time when I didn't want that, but I've changed. I suppose I owe you for that. So have it your way. I'll do what you're asking. Yes, I guess you have done a lot for me. You also made me king, as I recall. What have you done for me? Made me king, that's what it is. I'm sorry, but it is. I honestly can't believe you thought I would agree. That's pretty funny. All right. Oh, now tell me, what's really going on? You're not joking. You're actually serious. What sort of magic calls for sex with Morrigan? What's this ritual supposed to do? Ah, yes, I can see how that might be important. But how does Morrigan even know how to even do such a thing? What kind of ritual is this, anyway? That's not fair. Of course I want that. Is that what it does? It will protect you. Well, yes, I suppose I do. Sure. Is that what the ritual does? It protects you? I sleep with the Marsh Witch and your life is saved? That seems hardly fair. Not that I want you dead or anything, but this is a bit much to ask. I just don't understand how this is supposed to work. How does Morrigan know this ritual? What kind of ritual are we talking about? I see. That's got to be the strangest thing you've ever asked me to do. And blindly, too? So, I'm just supposed to go and have sex. No questions asked. Even ignoring that I'm going to be king? That's a little vague. Oh, something Morrigan cooked up, no doubt. What do you need me to do? Ha ha! All right, that's pretty funny. Nice way to cut the tension. So, what's really up? Oh, you're serious? What's this ritual supposed to do exactly? You mean with the archdemon, right? Well, I already said that I'll take the blow if Riordan can't, so you don't need to worry about it. Is that what you wanted? What is this about? If you mean running away, I can't do that, but you don't mean that, do you? What is this about? Just spit it out. You're making me nervous already. Not really. All these men look at me and I see it in their eyes. I'm their king. Suddenly it feels so real. But now you're changing the subject. This isn't about me. This is about Morrigan. I'm tired, but I'm not stupid. What did she want? Are you sure? You haven't even said what this is about yet. All right, have it your way, I guess. I'm going to get some sleep. Or try to. Oh, wake me if the castle falls. Or whatever. Goldana? I can't believe it. How did I not see this earlier? Yes, well, try not to tell everyone how easily fooled I was. I do love pie. I can't wait. Hey, it's great to see you again. I was just thinking about you. Isn't that a marvellous coincidence? You remember Goldana, of course. These are her children, and there's more about somewhere. We're one big happy family, at long last. Oh, that's what everyone says about their relatives. But I've never been happier.
I'm overjoyed to have my little brother back. I'll never let him out of my sight again. I'm allowed to change my mind, aren't I? He is my family, after all. Well, Allistair, is your friend staying for supper?
Say you'll stay. Goldana's a great cook. Maybe she'll make her mince pie. You can, can't you?
Of course, dear brother. Anything for you.
You're acting really strangely. All right, if it makes you happy. It's a little fuzzy. That's strange.
Allistair, come and have some tea.
No. Wait. I remember a tower. The circle. It was under attack. There were demons. That's all I really remember. Are you saying this is a dream? But it's so real.
Of course it's real. Now wash up before supper and
Something doesn't feel quite right here. I think I have to go.
No, he is ours, and I'd rather see him dead than free.
She is, but she isn't. I don't feel like thinking right now. I was never very good at that anyway. I think your odd behaviour is brought on by hunger. Now come and have some pie. I promise you'll feel better. Sometimes I just don't understand you. I'll be here then, if you ever want to visit. Huh. I'm not sure how to react to that, so I just won't. People can change, can't they? You'll want to settle down somewhere quiet too, Grey Warden or no. How can you say that about Goldana? She's the soul of goodness. Me? No, I'd make a terrible king. Don't be silly. There's nothing wrong with living with my sister. I've never had a real family before. I don't think I'll be coming. I don't want to spend my life fighting, only to end up dead in a pit along with rotting darkspawn corpses. What are you talking about? I am. I'm happier than I've been my entire life. Isn't that strange? I thought being a Grey Warden would make me happy, but it didn't. This does. This is my sister, Goldana.
What is it now? Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the circle?
I simply came to deliver a message from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
But what if some monster comes along while we're... How embarrassing. Or maybe I'm just a big coward who, needs a tent for stuff. Hey, you're right. We are alone. I never noticed. Wow. Well, I suppose we are in the camp. The tent's right over there. This is true. I feel very manly. Yep, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And I'll go do it. Over there. Excuse me. What, no opinion? Fine. I think you just don't want to talk to me, that's what. You know what I think? I think you suck at gossip. That's what I think. Let's just get on then, Mr. No Opinion. Let's just get on then, Miss No Opinion. You do? Huh. That's a switch. Keep an eye out. Maybe we'll see the other one. Or I can track him down later. Right, because clearly this is all just a misunderstanding. We'll laugh about this later. So, I just saw Honora not long ago. Strange story. Why would you do that? What about us? Why would you do that? Did you take a blow to the head? That's crazy. I hope Eamon doesn't expect me to give a speech. Maker, he probably does, doesn't he? Oh. You know, there's something about being trapped in a fortress full of people who want me dead that makes me think, being a Templar might not have been so bad. So I'm guessing someone told Honora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. Did anyone mention this wasn't my idea? I think she's a great queen. As far as I'm concerned, she's welcome to it. I'm not a political man. I like being a warden. There's real evil out there, and it's something we can fight. It's something we can defeat. Making laws, settling disputes, that's not me. I wouldn't have the first idea how to do it. Really? Whatever will give you that idea? Well, it's nice that you think so. What do you think I should do? Go ahead and be king, just to let it happen? That's what I keep hearing. The way they talk about Therin blood, do you think I should maybe just jar it and stick that on the throne? I never met my father. I understand he did all right as king. Worse things can happen to someone. I bet there's a whole new wardrobe that comes as part of the deal. Maybe a nice scepter, too. I like that idea. That's so sweet. I love the way you try so hard. Seriously, though. About all I've got going for me is I can fight in formation, and I know the chant of light backwards and forwards. It's just that everything I've heard about Queen Honora is that she's the one who really ruled here, not Kaelin. She's smart, tough, determined. Well, I feel a bit like Kaelin's substitute. I think I'll be better off against the Darkspawn. All right, Allistair, enough whining. Thank you, Allistair. That's excellent advice. I'll do my best. Are we going now? Wait, where are you going? What's happening to me? Hey! Not really, no. But that doesn't change the facts, does it? I love you. I'll always love you. But there are things that are more important than what I want. I wish it were otherwise. You think it was easy for me? It's not. Just like that? That doesn't change the facts, does it? I don't think anything's supposed to be easy about being a king. Or a Grey Warden. Absolutely. Friends until the end. I hope so too. I wish I wasn't, believe me. I hate being right. She wants to be queen. I get it. I don't trust her any more than her father, but I get it. There was a time that would have given me great relief. Now I'm not so sure. But I'm a Grey Warden first. And if I get to stay a Grey Warden, I'll take it. Let Honora be queen. Oh, smart. I wouldn't be surprised if that's why she arranged to be here to begin with. They say that Honora is smart, determined. She's supposedly the one who's really ruled here, not Kaelin. She's her father's daughter. Me? I say that's where the problem lies. People like her and her father always think they're the only ones who can fix things. So everyone should just stay out of their way. What do you think? When the Landsmeet comes, you might even have a say. You say that now. Just wait. I'm full of surprises. I think they'll listen to a Grey Warden. One who just might save this country yet. No, she probably should be. That doesn't mean she's going to be. I think she dislikes what I represent. I'm here to replace her dead husband, aren't I? What would you think? Marry her? As in marriage, as in be her husband? You've spoken to her about this? You did, didn't you? Oh. My mistake. I didn't mean... All right. I understand. All right. I'll accept that for now. I understand. And I still don't care. I don't want anyone else, even just for show. Good. I like that idea much better, much better. Marrying Kaelin's widow. How could she even... No, never mind. I'm going to not think about it now. Oh, that's nice. I can't turn left without someone telling me something like that today. Why do you think I should do this, then? Tell me. I suppose so. It just seems strange that you should be the one to bring this up. So are you. You're more important to me than anything. I don't want anyone else, even for pretend. So are you. More important than the throne by far. I don't like the idea myself. I'd rather marry who I want to, and nobody else. Do you really want me to do this? Give me a good reason to even consider it. I can't say I like the idea at all. Why should I even consider something like this? Yes, I suppose you're right. The Landsmeet will probably see that too. Is it? I don't think so. I don't trust Honora any more than her father, and I'm certainly not going to marry her. Go and tell her whatever you think best, but I can't do it. Even if it means I have to be king myself. I'm sorry. Compromise? Yes, I suppose the Landsmeet would like the sound of that. No, I don't think compromise is what's needed here. I suppose. I don't know how much of a leader I am, but at least I know she's a good ruler. No, not perfect. Not perfect at all. You might have something there. All right, you've convinced me. If it comes to that, I'll agree to marry her. Make her help us all. Go and tell her, if you think it's a good idea. Me? I think I need a drink. Or 10. Or I can rule while I lead. Also perfect. I've never chased after the throne my entire life, but I don't trust Honora, not even a little. Tell her whatever you want to, but I won't marry her. I'm sorry. Maybe you're right. I hate it when you're right. Go ahead, then. Tell her I'll do it if it comes to that. Now, excuse me while I go have a small heart attack somewhere. No big deal, right? I see. Is that how it is? Fair enough. You want it to happen? Go and tell her it'll happen. But that is going to be the last order you give me. Now leave me alone. Is that what friends do then? Order each other around? So it's an order, is it? No, I don't think I will. I'm not going to be ordered to marry anyone, least of all Kaelin's wife. You go and tell Honora whatever you like. But I'd rather be king than marry her. And that's final. You have? I'm relieved, actually. The Landsmeet may not listen to you, and Al Eamon would go right back into a coma if you told him. But me? I'm relieved. I guess all we need to do is stop her father from taking the throne first, right? Oh, how hard could it be? He's just a hero and a Terran with a bigger army. Us, we've got spirit. I heard that. This is true. The Landsmeet could pick Honora for queen no matter what happens, right? Maybe not. There's good reasons for me to be king. I know that. I just thought Honora didn't seem like such a bad choice. I suppose I could always flip a coin. Got one handy? Good plan. We could go to Orlais, live in sin, and eat cake until the Darkspawn finally catch up to us. Cursed Darkspawn! About the whining? I know. Someone really needs to slap that one around. No, it's all right. The moment has passed. Time to face the music. Right you are. We have to convince everyone there are monsters that need fighting. Who would have thought? Mind you, then I'd have crown hair all the time. Is that a thing? Can you have crown hair? I bet you can. I like the way you think sometimes. Of course, I probably wouldn't be all that attractive once the people lynched me. Unless maybe they thought I was too pretty to lynch. You say that now. Just wait until I get all bossy and bad-tempered. Or is that the point? Other men, I suppose. I think I'd just look awkward. Not without embarrassing Al Eamon. Oh, by the way, that whole duty thing, could we just ignore that? His sister is who my father cheated on to make me. Yet he still took me in. He was good to me, and not because I was a good backup plan. But I wonder if he feels differently now that Honora is here. She gave me the strangest look. Like she was sizing up whether the cow was ready for slaughter. I asked her why. You know what she said? It would be like marrying his twin. I misheard that, right? Tell me I misheard. Good, because that idea? Bad. All kinds of bad. Maybe she said, you've got a hairy chin. I do need a shave. Yes, I'll go with that. Oh, there you are. Come to offer congratulations, I suppose? Maybe you intend to throw me a party to celebrate my engagement. I get that you think so. Loghain let all the Grey Wardens die. Let his king die. All because he thought he alone could defend Ferelden against the dreaded Orlesians. No matter what your plans are, he deserved to die. He deserved justice. And you made him one of us. There isn't any us. There's me, and then there's the woman who spared Duncan's murderer. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for it to come out like that. Neither do I, really. But it's too late for that now, I think. I don't know why you made Loghain a Grey Warden, but he's tainted it for me. The man is a traitor, and you gave him the greatest honor I can think of. Really. Frankly, it didn't seem like our friendship was all that important. A good side? There is no way to make that right. No way at all. It would have meant Duncan could rest easier. Me too. You should have thought about that earlier. Well, that's too bad. He's all I can really think about. But why should I complain, right? I'm the king now, and with a beautiful fiancée who is going to remind me of her father every time I look at her. I'll make the best of it, I guess. I'm not going to roll over and let Honora rule, that's for sure. Well, good luck, I suppose. You have a lot to do now. And so do I. Only I never wanted any of it. But now I have no choice, really. I'd better go. There's 1,000 people I'm supposed to meet. Good luck. Before I forget, I need to say something. When Arl Eamon said I was going to be king, I thought, that's it. Your worst fears have finally been realized. But you didn't make me king. And Loghain still got what he deserved. Everything worked out, thanks to you. Barely. But better her than me, that's what I say. She was already queen. Easiest oath I ever made, let me tell you. See? That's what I kept saying, and here I thought nobody was listening. I'm sure I can think of some way to repay you. I do. I'll remember. Then I'll thank fate for tossing you my way. It's a good thing, that fate. Anyway, I imagine there's more important things you want to discuss. I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. I don't know that at all, no. You'll have to do better than that, I think. That lever over there! It will release the hounds! Back when Arl Eamon told me I was being sent to the Chantry, I took my mother's amulet, the only thing I ever had of hers, and shattered it against the wall. I was so angry. So he must have found it and had it repaired. Why would he do that? Anyhow, let's go. And thanks again. It looks a lot like one I used to have a long time ago. I destroyed it. Stupid, really. I don't know how to express my gratitude. This means a great deal to me. At least I have his shield. Something to remember him by. That's better than nothing. Let's go. We have work to do. That amulet you found. It was the only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away. I tore it off and shattered it on the wall.